guys, Ricardo here and welcome to another great product review. And of course today guys, I have this awesome BenQ monitor that was sent to me for review. And of course today we'll be going through and showing you everything that this great device has to offer. We'll also have the full review on the blog. You can go ahead down in the description and check that out. And of course guys, let's get straight into it. Now right here guys, we have the BenQ EX3501R. Of course guys, today we have a super unboxing. And of course right here guys, we have the BenQ, and this is the, as you can see on the box, the EX3501R. And what this is guys, it's a curved monitor. Now, alright guys, so of course we have features such as HDR, which is high dynamic range. We also have USB Type-C. They also have the resolution of 3440 by 1440, and this is actually 2K. I don't know why. I wish it was 4K, but of course 2K is enough. And of course here guys, this is UWQHD, and this display is curved, as you can see, the 1800R curvature, which is cool. And of course guys, in all we have 100 Hz refresh rate, means super smooth video for experiences such as playing video games and so on. Guys, BenQ for sending this monitor for review. You can see on this side of the box, and I'm going to turn it out. And it's a little bit of weight to it. You can see the other side of the display here. You can also show together a few of them into a 3 display surround. And of course you'll have that wide range of view for games like first-person shooters and so on, such as Call of Duty and games like those, Crisis and all that. Now of course guys, I'm going to open this box. Alright, so as you can see guys, this is the inside of the box. And you can see the quick assembly guide right here. Let's slide this aside. There's also the user manual along with some drivers and so on for the display. We have a shield, and of course here we have the adapter brick. This thing is huge, you can actually see. And of course you do get a HDMI cable, so actually great that they included this in the package. I'm gonna slide this aside. And of course there's, ooh, cool, we actually get USB Type-C and a bunch of other inputs and power cables and so on. Slide those out of the way. There you go guys, you can actually see the beast and it looks great. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to fish this out. Alright guys, so as you can see, this is the display. And I can tell you right away, this thing is huge. And of course, right away, even without unveiling, I can tell you that the display quality is quite good. And no time for the review. And here we go. Third time is the charm. So just give me a little bit of time. Okay. And here we go. Okay. Now this is just plain thing. But of course I must commend BenQ for the extra care and attention that was placed into protecting the display. And of course several layers of shield, and some companies would not have done that. So big up to BenQ for the extra care that was placed into this. Dun-ta-da! And there you go. So as you can see guys, great curvature, and trust me, you should see this thing in real life. You see the BenQ logo again, and a nice, the BenQ logo again, and of course a nice hole for fishing your cables through, and you're seeing the logo there, and of course the back here. And if we go back around the front, you can see the insane display. I'm just loving this. And this is a 1800R curvature monitor, meaning that this display is actually curved. Now on the front of the display here, you can see the BenQ logo along with the sensor. Another thing that I like about this guys, straight out of the box, is that it has a very nice set of legs. Now this can support the weight of the monitor, and it has some weight to it. Beneath here you can notice there is actually an area to fish your cables through that allows for better cable management. And of course you'll notice the chrome or silver finish on this monitor. Now again guys, as you'll notice here, this is a 35-inch monitor and it has a UWQHD resolution, which is basically almost, let's call it 2K. Now I am so sad that it wasn't 4K, but of course after using this monitor for a while I realized it didn't really matter. Now of course the resolution is 3440 by 1440. Now if it was 4K it would have been 3840 by 2160K. So as you see, it's just a few pixels on each dimension to separate it from a 4K monitor. So with about 400 to 500 pixels on each end, you'd actually made over to 4K. So that might be something that BenQ want to add to the future refresher for this monitor. Now guys, along with that, I just want to say that the viewing experience on this monitor is just awesome. For example, watching movies in high resolution, and you can see here from this great wallpaper that I have that it is of the highest resolution, which is great for gaming, for movie watching, and for editing and any other major use you may have for your PC. So if you have a great PC, this might be the perfect monitor for you to actually match with everything. Now guys, along with this, it also have a bunch of cool inputs. Of course, I've found no dead pixels so far. Now the monitor is also 100 Hz refresh rate, and of course guys, we have tried out the PS4 Pro, and that's if you own a PS4 Pro, this is a must-have. I've tried out games that I've owned, such as God of War 4, which looks quite awesome. You'll also notice that whenever you're playing games like God of War 4, that you get extra screen real estate, meaning you can actually see enemies that would be outside of the normal range of the display. And of course that would come in handy in those who play games such as first-person shooters, Call of Duty, and so on, right? To give you the competitive edge. And of course the 100 Hz refresh rate is going to allow for you to have smooth video without that choppiness, so you'll get that fluid motion. Alright, and of course the curvature gives you that greater immersion, meaning once you're sitting in front of the monitor, you can actually be immersed in your content without less distractions. In fact, I've been using over the years many different monitor setups, including using my TV. I've also used dual monitors. One of the things you hate about dual monitors is the split that would run along the screen when both monitors are placed together, and of course that is missing here, as of course you have one continuous display. And of course this will make you fall in love with your PC or love your PC even more, in terms to say that your productivity will go up. And I can actually snap two windows on screen. Here we have blog tech tips, and I can easily snap one over here, and of course I could do something else such as launch another app such as a movie, and I could have a movie playing while all of this is being done. So for example, I could just queue up a movie here or some content, and there you go. And of course I could snap and do multiple screens, so I'm just going to do this side by side. So as you can see, plenty of screen real estate. You can have two contents, meaning I could be editing a document over here while having another Google search being done over here, or I could be working on the website Blog Tech Tips. If you haven't been there, do check that out, while doing something on the other side. Now of course you could never do this effectively on a normal monitor, and of course this is because of the ultra wide breadth or length that you get out of this monitor. And of course guys, in case you're thinking, how is this 35 inches? Remember, screens are measured diagonally, so therefore what's going to happen here is that due to the extra length, you do get more width instead of height. So this would match with one of those bigger TVs, as of course they are more taller. And of course guys, as I said, I cannot stop singing the praises of this monitor. I just want to big up BenQ for the great design. They thought a lot about the features. Now, of course, if you go into settings, there is a LED power button down here. And of course, there's options for input. You can switch between various inputs, and also you can queue up the color settings. and this is the color wheel. And as you can see here, guys, you have standard, which I am now set to with 100% brightness, and of course there's HDR. And notice, you might not be able to tell, but of course each time you notice there's a change in color temperature of the screen, with everything getting deeper, darker. And of course there's photo, gamer, there's gamer 3, and of course you can do a custom setting to get the monitor just the way you like. Now there's custom 2 and there's M book. Now in my experience, guys, the standard is okay, it's well balanced. However, HDR looks way better. It will give you a better picture quality. Now this HDR should not be confused with the HDR that is used in gaming, as this particular HDR is actually the color temperature HDR, which just basically gives you a emulated HDR experience in terms of color everywhere throughout the monitor, whether or not the content as HDR or not, and it does an okay job. But of course, guys, it will be up to you and your personal preference to calibrate your monitor. And one other complaint, guys, is that while everything is cool, the button setup to control all this is a bit clunky, and that's one of the areas I think BenQ fell down in terms of to say that they should have implemented something more flexible to control the on-screen menu. But it does work. And alright, guys, so another thing that I want to show you quickly, guys, is that you can actually hook up your phone or your smartphone by the USB Type-C connector that comes with the BenQ EX3501R. And of course I have my device here, which is a Samsung Galaxy S8. And of course, as long as you have a USB Type-C, you should be good. So what I'm going to do here, guys, is just go ahead and make the connection. And as you can see again, guys, this is my Samsung Galaxy S8. You can see it over here, same wallpaper. Scroll, I can actually scroll through. And of course you can see all of my apps, and I'll be using this for tutorial purposes. So in the future, when I'm doing tutorials, settings, you'll see it on screen right there. And as I'm moving through, you can follow along. So for the future tutorials, this has been a big help. So thanks again to BenQ. As we're talking about the BenQ light sensor, as you can see here, that basically matches the ambient light of the room, allowing the brightness of the screen to actually adjust to the ambient lighting of the room. So you'll always be getting the best picture quality and lighting to match the room, so the monitor will not always be at full blast. And of course, that's some intelligent technology which makes things easier for your eyes. Now of course, guys, as you might have noticed, this thing is actually quite huge, and you can tell based on the wallpaper. Now of course, guys, you'll need a minimum desk size of, and of course I've got my handy tape measure right here, and of course, as you can see here, you'll need at least 3 feet of desk space, and that will only cover the monitor. Your system unit would have to be placed on the floor or somewhere else. But of course, if you want and you're investing in your computer, and of course you have an awesome setup, you'd actually want to show that off. So as you can see here, my desk would actually expand to a length which actually can hold this, as well as a laptop or a system unit. It's actually about 5 feet 6 inches or so. And of course, this is a massive desk that I actually got, and that's because I usually build custom systems. So of course I have to have the desk to actually hold all of that. Now in terms of thickness, as you can look at the top up here, guys, if you were to project upwards, you'll notice that at the top here, the thickness of this monitor, and of course you will not notice it, it's not that thick. Alright, so guys, this is the back of the device, and I hope you guys can see. I'm trying my best to angle stuff so you can actually see everything. You'll see BenQ curve monitor at the back here, so everybody will know. And again, there's the BenQ logo. And guys, this is a better look at the shield here that I told you that actually routes your cables. Now, if I were to remove this, and of course, guys, the panel comes right off, and it's just a snap on, so you can actually connect your cables. And of course, around here is a little bit cramped, so I'll have to maneuver about a little bit. But of course, let me see if you can actually see. Now the inputs here include 2 USB type 3 or 3.0, the blue ones,
And of course you can see the various input tags. There's two HDMI, and of course there's, as I said earlier, USB Type-C or audio out, and the power cable and all that is hidden behind here. And of course all you gotta do is just snap on the box so it hides everything.
Alright, so guys, as you can see here, the cool thing is that you can actually swivel the monitor. It does tilt up and down based on your needs. So you can actually tilt down or tilt up. Computer can handle this, as you should be able to output with a good graphics card to the maximum resolution of the screen. And you'll need to get it just right. On the PlayStation and so on, they work well, but remember to turn on features such as HDR. On playing games such as God of War and Final Fantasy 15, for example, I noticed that the HDR feature, which was one of the key features that was in the that game, I had to actually turn it on to see or to get the HDR. Now the HDR looks nice as it makes colors pop, and you'll be able to better enjoy your games. So that adds even more to the immersion. So if you own, as I said before, a PS4 Pro, be sure that you actually pick up the device for as a gaming monitor. So you could also pair this with a gaming PC, but I think the PC gives you more options, and of course the PlayStation compatibility is an extra bonus. And guys, while this is a monitor too, it does double as a TV. For example, let me show you some content. For example, a trailer. Now guys, notice here that this is a trailer on YouTube, but movie takes up the entirety of the display. Nothing is left out. And of course, I think this is going to be the standard for the future. Extra rich colors, the deep blacks. Now, if you notice, this is regular content and this is South Park, so I'm just going to kill the audio too. But as you can see here, as we're going through this content, that it's widescreen. Now, originally it was actually like this. Now, this player is called K-Lite. It's from the K-Lite Mega Codec pack. And what I found is that you can actually adjust your videos for your liking. So I set it to this to actually get it to the widescreen. But if I go back to default, regular content will have cutoffs at the side like this, right? Which is not bad, as you can actually work around it. So, alright guys, so as you can see here, I've switched to the laptop just to demonstrate whatever what I'm saying. Now, as you can see here guys, extra wide content has black borders to the top and bottom of the screen, not to the side. When you see this, this is an indication this is extra wide content. Now this is a 720p display on my laptop. However, when I switch over to the BenQ, okay, so as you can see guys, it's now over here, and of course there's no black borders, and that's just something that's very cool. Well, I love this monitor guys, and of course I'll be integrating it into my daily usage. It makes stuff like website browsing quite easy. For example, if I were to go over to my website, notice that this is in a widescreen format. And of course, if I go over here, you'll notice that of course, and most modern websites are taking advantage of this extra real estate. You'll notice it fills out the entire screen. What I do for YouTube, creation of content for you guys over on the website makes all that quite easy, and it has improved my productivity. Overall, I would not switch back to a regular monitor, and of course I'll be integrated this into my regular workflow, and I thank BenQ for sending this over. And of course guys, please show BenQ the support. Please click on the links, go over to the website, read the reviews, and of course if you like it, please buy using one of my links. They'll be included in the video description and in the article as well. If you're thinking of buying two monitors, ditch that setup. This is the setup for you. This thing can do everything. If you're going to do trading, if you're going to do picture, graphic design, you name it, this monitor is the be all end all of all monitors. So this recorder signing out.